Good evening, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another week of Freedom Friday. Hey, y'all. Hey. Thank you for tuning in. Please, as you're coming in, I want to know who I'm talking to. So I need you to type in the comments where you're watching from, Also, please tag about 5 people to this live because I feel like some men are going to really be blessed by tonight's podcast. I don't know if it's me, Jacob. Do you hear a lot of feedback or something
Nah, we good.
in the background?
Nah, we
I'm
good.
hearing noise in the background.
Nah.
All right, just wanted to make sure. All right, y'all. So we got a treat for y'all. We have a special treat for y'all. But before I proceed, I want you to make sure you tag about 5 people. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and don't forget to comment. And if you're watching from YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe, and click the notification bell so every time we go live, you can be right there with us. All right, y'all. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Once again, we have a very special. I hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. I cannot forget to touch on that. How was your Thanksgiving, Jacob?
Oh, it's wonderful. It was wonderful. It's the first celebration of Thanksgiving we have celebrated since we remodeled my grandmother's house. So
Oh
it was
wow.
very special. It was
Oh
special.
wow. All right. Well, ours was amazing. It was way better. Let me say that. It was way better from the last one. That was around the time when my dad died. This one was way better though. We had more fun. We did some things after Thanksgiving, so it was really, really nice. It was really, really nice. And I hope y'all that are watching had an amazing Thanksgiving. And I also hope that you have an amazing holiday coming up. All right, y'all. And also, I cannot forget to say, if you want to be interviewed, I'm not subscribed. Send your submissions. Send your submissions to DITRINTL Corp at gmail.com. DITRINTL Corp at gmail.com. Or you can just simply send me an inbox or a DM. All right, y'all. So here we go. This is your girl, Miss Q, aka Apostle Q, BKA Cornetta Thomas, your mind whisperer, President and CEO of Diamonds in the Rough International, Diamond Dynasty, and Diamond Graphics. And tonight's Freedom Friday is I Got Feelings Too. So I need some of y'all to tag some of these brothers tonight, y'all. Tag some of
Mhm.
these brothers in the comments. I feel like some brothers need to get in on this one tonight because they need to be enriched too. You know why? Because they got feelings too, y'all. Okay?
Mhm.
And before I go any further, I would be totally amiss if I did not acknowledge my brothers. And one of them just so happened to be here with me tonight.
Mhm.
Hello.
Mhm.
Who sponsored me, who believed in me, who pushed me, who encouraged me. And I'm just so grateful to you all, Eddie Jones and Jacob Anderson and 95 South Podcast. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Hey, Eddie, I know you probably watching. If you're not watching right now, you will be catching the playback. So, hey, how you doing? And some big things in the making, y'all. I ain't gonna talk about it yet, though. But it's some real big things in the making. Just lay around for it. And without further ado, I have to introduce my brother, King Jacob.
Hello.
Jacob W. Answer. You know that W, that sounds like something rich. I don't know. It just sounds like royalty. I don't know.
Do you wanna know what it is?
Yes, what does it stand for?
My dad is firstborn. So instead of naming me Junior, um, he had the king phrase. So it's Jacob Walter Anderson the second.
Ooh, Jacob Walter Anderson the second.
Yes.
Wow. And see, I was just playing when I said it.
Mhm.
When I said royalty, I was just playing. I had no idea that it was really actual. Amen. Praise God. Won't he do it?
Mhm.
Yes, he will. So
Yes.
this is
Yes.
what I'm going to do, right? I want you, because you have an extensive resume, Jacob.
Mhm.
Your resume is up yonder. You've done so much. You've done so
Mhm.
much. So could you please give the people a brief synopsis of who you are and what you're doing now?
Hi, I'm Jacob W. That's the second, aka King Jacob, but also known in the music industry as Jacob Tunes. And the name Jacob Tunes came from an older person when I lived in Washington D.C. He said every time I'm around you, I just hear a delightful sound, like
Mm.
you belong. He's like you remind me of a dude that navigated with people through Motown. You
Oh wow.
you you got a warm spirit about you. And so I've been in the music business since about 1997. Started off. I'm originally from South Carolina, but I got my music started in Washington D.C. So
Okay.
I started off in the street promotions and the club promotion business. My very first event was be a street promoter on the What Noriega tour. Yes, the rapper Noriega. That was my very,
Yeah.
very, very, very first event.
Wow.
So did a lot of events. Been in the same room with people like Gerald Levert, Genuine, Tank, just to name a few. And then I had a guy say, "Man, you should manage artists." I said, "I don't know how." He said, "So by that time, I had relocated to Florida. I
Yeah.
was in St. Petersburg at first when I
Okay.
first hit the state of Florida. So I met a fella by the name of Charles King from West Palm Beach. And he said, "Man, you should, man." I said, "Well, I just do club promotion, street promotion." He said, "Let me show you." Showed me, gave me the tools. So he started teaching me the backside of the business, the paperwork, the music licensing, you
The
know,
hard
um,
part.
yeah, right, yeah, right. And so in in line, I started doing this for indie artists and started showing them the business side of it. And
Mm.
once they learned the business side of it, I was able to book some engagements. Started talking to people like the manager of Two Chains, like a representative from Interscope that worked closely with Jimmy Iovine, and
Mm.
got connected with Wu Worldwide, which is the Wu Tang DJs, and just learned a lot about the music business. Then I got into um, some of the film world is where I'm interviewing actors and models, and just
Yeah.
start working. And I'll be casting my first series in um, late February, early March. It's,
What?
it, it's gonna be a film called Neighborhoods, and I hooked up with one of my old partners that's out there in Mississippi. Shout out to Sassy Black, and she's gonna give me a chance to be a casting director on my first film. And so, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Thank
Congratulations.
you, thank you, thank you. And also, I hooked up with Mr. Donald Kincaid, which he runs a JUCO program, junior college program. So he recently made me, his director of recruiting. So all you talented guys that's in the sports world, football and basketball, if you don't get a full ride to school, I can still get you in junior college and still make your academically and your athletically dreams come true. So I have that, and then I have the podcast. So
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
the Chatterbox, and that's solely my podcast. And then I have shout out to Exquisite PR firm,
Yeah. Yeah.
that employs
Yeah.
me. So I'm a
Oh,
part of their podcast as well,
yeah.
Exquisite Conversations. And we have me and Eddie. We started 901 Sports. Last year. It's doing well. Sports podcast, and we said, man, we need to
Very
link
well.
up and we need to start something for the community to invite different people from different walks of life and to give people a chance to have their own show on the network. And so mm, we've been in about 6 months, and we all, man, the 95 Podcast Network have made some waves. We have
Yes.
E-Real Radio out of Atlanta. We're on their network. We have Independent Chicks out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi on their network. We have Real Life Matters TV out of Toronto, Canada, which they have 12 million viewers. We on her network as well. Shout out to D-Boss. And we just got picked up by 18 Studios out of Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Whoa. You said 18?
And 810.
Oh,
The,
8. 810. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
810 Studios out of Fayetteville,
Okay,
North Carolina.
okay,
And
okay.
we're hoping to get picked up by Kimberly Young Productions TV out of Kansas City, Missouri. Working on that this week. So we're working.
Woo! Listen, y'all, did I not just say that he has an extensive resume? He has an extensive, as a matter of fact, 95 South Podcast was how I got started. One time he inboxed me and asked me if I wouldn't mind doing an interview with him on 95 Podcast. So I was like, all right, I don't really do interviews that much. So I was like, let me just try to see. I wasn't sure what I was getting myself into. And I did it. And I loved it. It was amazing. I remember it was with you and it was with Eddie.
Hmm.
And just the way the conversation flowed and how we was like bouncing off of each other. I'll say something and then all of a sudden Eddie would get an idea, and then you would get an idea for Eddie's idea, and it was just going in like a whole cycle, and it was just so good. And it was at 8 o'clock in the morning, y'all. I'm talking
Yeah.
about it was so lit at 8 a.m. y'all on a Saturday morning. And that's how I got started. Even though I was always doing the Facebook lives, I've never done it to this capacity. Like to where now there's so many other doors that are opening, and it's because, first of all, of course, it's because of God. Of course,
Right.
we cannot forget to give God all due praise, honor, and glory. But the manpower behind Freedom Friday going to a whole nother scale is because of this brother that you got right here in front of y'all. Okay? Between him and between Eddie, this is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing on a whole nother level. And I gotta keep saying it. Like that's why I shout y'all out every show I do, because I don't think y'all comprehend how much I appreciate. Like that you invested in me. You understand what I'm
Hmm.
saying? You all invested in me, and for that to happen after I've gone through so much and still remain faithful, even when it was ugly, even when it was tiring, even when I didn't want to do it sometimes, and I'm not okay. I said I wasn't gonna cry.
Lay it out. Lay it out, man. Lay it out. Lay it out.
But even like like nobody really knows like the backstory, like the I'm trying to get it out. How hard it was to do Freedom Friday every week and be consistent with it and not quit in the moments that I wanted to quit. But I believe God and I trusted God, and I feel like somebody needs to hear this. I believe God and I trusted God when all hell was breaking loose, when everything seemed to be going to hell in a handbasket, when everything seemed to be falling apart at one time. I was still consistent, and I kept pushing and I kept pushing. And then finally, my breakthrough came. Finally, when I was looking for people, certain people to push me and lift me, they couldn't. It wasn't for them to do, and I didn't understand that at first. I was taking it personally. It's only now that I understand that everything that happened was supposed to happen to lead up to this very moment and to every other moment that's ahead. And I'm grateful because I went through hell, Jacob. I went through pure hell. But in spite of it, I stayed consistent and I trusted God and I never let go. And then y'all found me. Even though you always was there in the background, y'all, the moment came and suddenly everything shifted. Suddenly everything changed before I could think and blink or move fast enough. Everything just started happening for me. Everything that I needed to do what I needed to do started to fall in place. And now doors are flying open. Y'all, some of y'all are going through some stuff that you don't understand. Some of y'all are in seasons right now that are so hopeless and so dark. And the only thing that you can do or think to do is to quit. But if I could be a witness to you, y'all, God is a suddenly God. And I didn't mean to go this way. I promise I'm gonna get to your questions.
You
But it's
good. You
it's
good.
taking me this way for some reason. God is a suddenly God. And yes, right now it might be looking real bad. And yes, right now you might be feeling really hopeless. But if I can testify to you, if you do not quit, if you maintain your composure, if you stay on your post, if you don't let the enemy trick you off your square, because that's the purpose of everything that's happening. The purpose of everything that's happening is two parts. The first part is God is testing your faith. The other part of it is the enemy always tries to find a way to sneak in through your process to convince you that he's doing it so that you could give up, so that you
Mm,
could be hopeless and walk away and quit.
mm. You better say that.
But now is
You
not the
better.
time, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. You better
Now is
say
not
that.
the time. Doors are getting ready to fling open for the ones that have been faithful, that have been faithful over the small things. Y'all don't understand. Y'all ain't gonna understand until you see it. And then y'all gonna come back to this live and remember what I said. When you faithful over the small things
Hmm.
and you want to quit, but you remain faithful over the small things, and people are telling you that you can't do it, but you remain faithful over the small things, while people are trying to tear you down, and you still remain faithful, God will begin to blow your mind. And that's enough of that.
Hey, hey, lay it out. Let that testimony be heard, because it's only gonna make you greater.
Yeah, absolutely. But I gotta get to this though. I didn't mean to even go there, but I feel like somebody just, it was in me to just give that. So I had to give that because maybe somebody really, really needed to hear that. Maybe
Right.
somebody was at their breaking point or at their wits end and just needed to hear somebody say it's gonna be all right
That's right. That's right.
if you stay consistent in doing what God has told you to do, no matter what's going on around you. I'm telling you, suddenly everything will change. Hey, Izzy. Hey, sis. As y'all are coming in, please comment so that I can acknowledge y'all. Please comment and tag 5 people. Tonight's Freedom Friday, once again, y'all, is I Got Feelings Too. And for whatever reason, I am all in mine.
It's all right.
I
All
am
right.
all in my feelings. Lord have mercy. So I want to go ahead and get to the first question because I want us to gear this conversation towards men. Even though it's all inclusive, I want to gear the conversation towards men, but for women to gain understanding. But the reason I want to gear it towards men is because sometimes, a lot of times, men don't have an outlet. Men don't have a voice. Men don't have someone that they can be vulnerable with and bear their all to. Why? Because they've been taught to suck it up.
Mm.
They've been taught to keep it pushing. Even when they're breaking. Even when they have nothing left to give, they still got to give some more. So I want this podcast to be geared toward the brothers tonight. Because I want to acknowledge y'all. I want y'all to know that if nobody hears you, we hear you. We understand you. We feel you. And we want to give you a space tonight to be you without the Teflon vest, without having to be Superman. Tonight is your night. You get to break if you need to. And it's okay. It doesn't make you weak. It don't make you a punk. As a matter of fact, it takes a certain kind of strength for a man to be vulnerable. Why? Because he has to overcome ego. He has to overcome what people might say. He has to overcome fear. He has to face himself in a way that he's probably never had to face himself, just to allow himself to break. Just to allow himself to feel vulnerable. Whew, okay, let me collect myself. I'm getting
So
that thing
so
out.
So Apostle Q, before
Yes,
you get
sir.
into the questions,
Yes.
I definitely would like to say something.
Yes. Please.
Man, man, this is a shout out to my sisters, man. Like, listen, men, black men that's walking on American soil, man, we get tired.
Mm.
We get so darn tired, man.
Wow.
Man, we shouldn't have to go out there and face society and got to deal with the scrutiny just because you're a successful black man, or just because you're not quote unquote in the streets, or you're not a thug, or you try to walk the straight and narrow and let God guide your direction, and you consider as a square, but
Mm.
then have to come home and fight with the woman that say she love us forever and ever, like
Mm.
outcast forever ever, to have
Forever.
to fight with y'all and answer the questions like you get interrogated by FBI agent. Man, we get tired, man. We just want y'all to love us and open up to us, and just let us have a voice, man. You
Ooh.
know, I understand black women empowerment, man, but don't set your man down because you're on your black women empowerment ish. Like,
Yeah.
allow him to have a voice too. But that's all I want to say.
Wow. Whoa, now that's a way to open up now. That's a allow men to have a voice. Allow men to have a voice. I want you to stay right because that's what's resonating with me. How is it that we as women, how is it that we as women do not allow men to have a voice? What do we do? Like, give me something tangible. What are actions? What are words? What do we do that make men feel like we're not allowing them to have a voice?
Okay, like it's like, you know, a lot of times, man, your girlfriend's husband could be a brother that make $100,000, $200,000 a year. But here, your husband is busting your butt. He only makes 60 grand a year.
Hmm.
And a conversation might go left, and you might throw something up in his face where you don't treat me like so and so husband treat her. So
Mm.
he treats you better because he got money, but you're the same one that has never been through domestic violence with me. But she's been through domestic violence with him. So did money cover her bruises? No, she walk around for
Ooh.
a lifetime. And so with her walking around with that internal battle for a lifetime, and she don't and she comfortable because he got the bag, but he also got a fist that he can't keep to itself.
Right,
So
right.
so so that's kind of heartbreaking, and kind of just like disheartening that you would throw money in my face, but yet your smile is still beautiful. You don't have any black eyes. You ain't never had a broken wrist, but you would throw that in my face, or somebody who goes through something constantly, and you always having to go to the hospital to see if she won't tell her dad and her brothers because they know that her dad and her brothers will end up shooting her husband, but yet she stay with him because he has money. So
Wow.
you tell me, like, where's the priorities at? So that's like a beat down for a man. You just throw them all the way under the bus. You know, when this man very well could be in the streets still doing what he used to do, but you help him change that lifestyle, and he eternally grateful to you. But can you be grateful to him as well? Because
Mhm.
he could have been the same brother that was out there doing what he was doing, and y'all had 3, 4 kids together, and he left you. Now he doing 25 years, but he changed his ways, because he don't want to be a statistic. So with that
Right.
being said, don't throw that, don't throw that at him like that, cause it cuts really deep.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So, what would you say is one of the biggest misconceptions that women have about men?
The biggest misconception that women have about men is women don't really know their man. You think they do, cause you have sexual intercourse. You think you know him? No.
Yeah.
Because your physical desires overtake your mental, your emotional, and your spiritual, you think you know him? No. Most women in this lifetime that's walking on this America soil have never been spiritually in love with their man. And when I say
Whoa.
spirit, and when I say spiritually in love with their man, they've never asked a man, so how do you spiritually love me? What makes you spiritually love me? When did it start? And did God say it was okay to spiritually love me? Did you talk to him
Woo.
about me first? Like that don't happen. You know what I mean? And the spiritual love is way more deeper than the physical, the mental, the emotional, all the above. See, when you're spiritually in love with somebody, that's a whole different level. That makes you want to get up and do whatever you need to do. That makes you want to, you know, have a Bible, a family Bible. I ain't talking about the church Bible study. I'm talking about the deepest Bible study of all, between the husband, the wife, and the children. Every Wednesday at 6 o'clock, that family Bible study is deep.
Mhm. 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 Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is one of the biggest misconceptions that women have about men is that they actually know they man. Like,
No,
in other words, you don't really know him like you think you do. And
no.
it's true because that's one of the things that we as women we pride ourselves in saying, "Oh, I know him. Oh, I know him. I know my man. I know my husband. I know this. I know that." But I feel like what you're saying is we only get to know we only get to know them on a surface level. We never really go deep. We don't really we don't really give them the space to be open enough so that we can go deep. Am I right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. You're right. And so, and then another thing is, an old woman will ask her granddaughter. She'll be 70, 80 years old. She say, "You love this man, do you, baby?" She might say, "Yes, ma'am." And she might say, "Well, what's his favorite color? And what was the first time he threw a baseball?" Now, we talking about knowing your man now.
Mhm.
You should know everything about him inside and out.
Mhm.
Like, how can you love somebody and you don't even know their favorite color?
Right.
How
Right.
can you love somebody and you don't even know their mama's maiden name? How much do you love them?
Right.
Because you're entering another family and you don't know his mother's maiden name. You know, you don't know his grandmama's favorite church hymn.
Mm.
You know, you know, you don't know the very first time. He was introduced to Motown as a kid.
Mhm.
Like it's certain stuff you should know about him. And what type of intellectual conversation have you him had?
Right.
Have
Right.
y'all looked at the biblical conversation, how you can break it down to the political conversation, and then you can characterize it down how the biblical breaks down to the political, how the political is not making an impact on the community, but it's only damaging the community. What type of
Mm.
intellectual conversation are you really having?
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Is has she even shared with you what she went through at 14 and 15? So you can mentally and emotionally understand her. Why are the deepest secrets hidden if you love him?
Mm. Why are the
And,
deepest secrets hidden if you love him?
and then when he finds out by somebody that he was cool with in your family, like one of your first cousins, a male cousin, and it slips out, and he like, "I thought you told you," and it's something that's been hidden, and now he understands why he can't reach you. He understands that you was touched at 14. He understands that your mama didn't believe you when you said uncle touched you.
Mhm.
So that's why you can't fully open up to him, because you never got seed about. You never mentally, emotionally, or spiritually have been delivered from them demons that touched you. Come on,
Whoa.
somebody. Come on, somebody.
Whoa. 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 Take it easy, Jacob. Don't hurt him tonight. Don't hurt him. Okay, so let's flip it. Let's flip it really quickly. Why do men shut down when they have issues? Because what you just said was that he can't reach her because she shut down. Obviously. Why? Because she's had some untouched or unchecked traumas. And because of those unchecked traumas, she's shut down, she's closed up. Okay, so then what would cause a man to shut down if they have
Because
issues? The reason I'm asking is because what I've noticed is that a lot of times, like in a past relationship, right? If I'm with
mhm.
someone and I can read their countenance, I can see that something just ain't right here. They having a bad day or something's wrong, or somebody done said something to make them real mad, or maybe they had a bad day at work. Whatever the situation is, when they walk through that front door, I can sense that something is not right. So, me being who I am, I'm trying to create a space for him to come and lay it down. You understand?
Mhm.
But what I notice is that a lot of times when men go through stuff, they clam up.
I'm,
They
I'm about to give
hold
you.
it.
I'm about to give you some Jews, Apostle. And this
Okay.
for all the women out here. I'm about to give you some
Okay.
Jews. Okay.
Okay. I mean, you got to help us because this
Un,
when I
un,
be talking to my female friends, this is one of the things that we are so it perturbs us because we're communicators. That's how we sort things out. We communicate. So when something is wrong with our man and he's not telling us, it drives us crazy. Go ahead, I'm
but
listening.
so you all right. So when you go to a family gathering with your man,
Hmm.
just you can interact, but just sit back and pay attention unto how his uncles move, his great uncle, his dad, his granddad, and sit back and see how their wives interact with them. And sit back at if he look out the corner of his eye and her whole tone change.
Hmm.
Look at the body language.
Hmm.
So I feel like women nowadays don't read body language.
Hmm.
And him being quiet and not saying much is not body language.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Body language is him reserving himself in a space that he normally wouldn't be reserved in. And
Hmm.
so what you got to understand when we as men go to our uncles, great uncles, granddad, pops, and we say something, he's like, boy, I don't want to hear that. Suck it up and go. And if you need to talk to somebody, get on your knees and pray about it.
Wow.
He he was like, I was gonna talk to my wife about it. No, you're not. You're gonna talk to God or somebody who can change it. Because 9 times out of 10, what you have going on with you internally and those issues, she's not gonna understand because she's not on here walking on American soil as a black man,
Right.
that has 20 scrapes against him already. You
Right.
can you can open up to her, but if you're gonna open up to somebody, you need to go talk to her dad. He a man, he'll understand. She ain't gonna understand. So that's what we're taught. You know what I
Wow.
mean? We're taught that we
To
should become
internalize.
right, but we're also taught when you're dealing with a woman and you married a woman that your father-in-law should be your best friend too. He that treats his wife with the utmost respect, there's no way in the world that his father-in-law shouldn't be his best friend.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because there's some things that you navigate, especially if 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 his father has passed on, that father-in-law become his best friend
Hmm.
because he still needs those internal jewels from a man that's already walked a journey that he hasn't walked yet.
Hmm.
And a lot of times, man, females get out your girlfriends there, man. Just stop putting your girlfriends in your business, man. Like no. They just because secretly you don't know she ain't never been treated how he treats you, so she is eternally jealous.
Mm.
She's she's not gonna show you externally, You know, she gonna feel like she happy for you.
Mhm.
No, don't you believe the hype? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Don't you believe the hype? Because a lot of times it's why that wasn't me, or how did she get him, or what she have I don't have.
Right.
Those are the internal thoughts when nobody's around.
Right.
And jealousy and envy and fake smiles are at all time high right now. It's at an all time high. You know what
Man,
I mean? So
that's why
hey,
my circle is this big.
yeah, yeah. So, but even when the men are having issues, man, do something to cheer them up. You know what I mean? He
But that's
like,
the problem though, Jacob. The problem is we don't know what to do because he won't say anything. You get what I'm saying? He'll clam up, go into either his man cave or get really silent and distant. And because, like I said, women are communicators, we want to know like what's wrong. Talk to me. Why are you acting this way? What happened? What caused you to shift your whole mood? What's going on with you? But men have a tendency to not let us in. It seems like it we won't know what's going on until the situation is over with.
yeah, a lot of times, but also a lot of times, um, a man ain't gonna really talk to you in front of the kids like that. Like if
Yeah,
something
but
going
what
on,
if there's no kids involved? What
okay,
if it's
if
me?
there's no kids involved, if there's no kids involved, it's like it's just the little things. I feel like something bothering you, so I'm gonna just make it all about me and you tonight. Kind of like little dinner, some wine, some soft jazz or something.
Mhm.
Intrigue his mind. Like, where this come from?
So what you're saying is instead of trying to pull it out of him, just do something to try to shift
Yeah,
his
so
mind.
let it naturally come out because once it shifts, oh,
Ah,
oh, oh, she did all this for me. Like, wow, she ain't never did this before. Wow, she okay. And then good dinner. Having wine, and now he's comfortable with opening up. Now he's like, okay,
okay,
okay, let me put this guard down and let me
okay.
talk to her. And now he's like, oh, babe, can I talk to you about something? And I didn't know how to tell you, but this setting makes me kind of ease my mind a little bit. You know what I
Wow,
mean?
wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so literally, he just gave y'all a jewel, y'all. He literally just gave y'all a jewel. Hello, Prophetess Chandra, how you doing? But literally, he just gave y'all a jewel. He literally just said to y'all, when your man is bugging, right? I gotta say it that way. When your man is bugging and he's not himself, or he seems a little bit off, or he might be going through something. Instead of trying to force him to tell you what is wrong with him, instead of trying to make him open up, just create a space, right? That's what you're saying?
That's
Create
right.
a space for him. Like Jacob just said, create a dinner, an ambiance, set the mood with some candles, set the mood with some wine and a good home cooked meal. And if you can't cook, get something. Go buy something and put it in the plate. Act like you
Hmm.
cooked.
Hmm.
Put on some nice music, some nice mellow Luther, something, and allow him to open up and come forward. Because what I'm hearing you say, if a man feel like he's being pressured, it's gonna push him back even more.
Yeah, it's gonna end up bad, and he'll end up snapping on you and having this attitude that you ain't even used to. You know what I
Right,
mean? You
right,
and women be like, where the hell did this come from? You know
right,
what I mean? But if you jugging and you keep pushing them, man. Society's already pushing him and got their foot on his neck. You know what I'm saying? For the person that he said I do to, and he took that oath to under God to have the foot on his neck. And then he like, oh my God, man, like I just can't believe it. I have to come home to what I'm already facing at work,
right,
facing in society. You're like, man, she got her foot on my neck, man. Just and sometimes they kind of need that quiet space. You be like, what's going on with you? They be like, nothing. You be like something wrong. But okay, I'm gonna just give you a space and just and when you're ready to tell me, you'll talk.
Right.
And and sometimes it might be 2 or 3 weeks from now, but
Right.
they done kind of stirred the
Oh my
pot
God.
and they done kind of stirred the pot and they overstood the situation and now they can explain to you the causes and effects and what you
Oh,
did for them that made an impact, and all you did was just left them alone, gave them that space, and gave them time to think. You know what I mean? In that
okay.
quiet space.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
so what I'm hearing you say is that a lot of it has to do with the fact that a man needs to process information,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? Because
Hmm.
what I've learned is that men work things out in compartments. Like men's brains is compartmentalized. Women, we wired all over the place. That's why we so crazy.
Yeah,
We are literally
y'all don't ever slow down, man. Y'all don't slow
right,
down even think. You know what I mean?
right,
It's like you can ask a woman, man, why did you do that?
right,
I was just trying. No, but you didn't really sit down to think, to evaluate it, and look at the cause and effect, or
right.
like you just really need to slow down sometime. And then it's like y'all y'all hear it, but y'all don't listen, and then you be like, well, you was right. I should have slowed down, but all that the damaging already been done. But
Right,
but then we're in the back of my mind. I gotta fix this so she won't have no breakdown. And
right,
so
right,
that's it. Just like, and I value my women because I can tell you now, man, a woman that carries a child for 9 months and they on the operating table, and that's kind of the closest thing that they'll see to death. So
absolutely.
I salute y'all, truly I do. But
But
at
we
the
a little
same time,
cuckoo sometimes.
yeah, yeah,
I got
yeah,
to give the truth when the truth need to be given. And the truth is, we a little cuckoo sometimes. And a
yeah,
lot of it has to do with the fact of the way our mind is wired. Literally, our minds are wired like this. Everything is like all over the place. Like this is connected to this, connected to that. Whereas men are more compartmentalized. And when they
right,
think about stuff, they usually think about one thing at a time. Whereas we think about yesterday, today, and tomorrow at the same time.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But what I'm
right,
hearing
right,
you say is that when a man is going through something, to give him his space, it's okay to offer, like, at least once, baby, are you okay? You
mm-hmm,
want to talk about it? But if he said no, he give you that grumpy attitude, or it's not even personal. Like it's like this thing is breaking open for me because I've already been studying about this. But it's like it's breaking open. What you're saying is it's not even personal. Like if they have an attitude that we as women have to have enough wisdom, especially if we want to keep peace and not make us a bad situation worse. Like and cause him to shut down and push away. Don't take it personal, first of all,
mm-hmm,
is what I'm hearing. Don't take his attitude, especially when you know y'all was in a good space, especially if you know you didn't do anything to him. If he's
mm-hmm,
coming home with a whole attitude, don't take it personal. Ask him, is everything okay? Do you want to talk about it? If he's still acting grumpy and still don't want to talk about it, leave him alone. Give him
uh-huh,
his space. And the reason being is because he needs to process. We just talked about it. Men's brains are in compartments. Literally, when they think psychologically, it's in compartments, one thing at a time. And when they go through something, when men go through something, they're not as emotional as we are. You understand? They're more logic than they are emotion, whereas we're more emotion than we are logic. So when they go through something, especially if it's something emotional, because they're not accustomed to really dealing with their emotions like that, it kind of takes them aback. And so they got to process what they're feeling. They got to process the entire experience so that they can verbalize it. And then be able to come and talk to me like, baby, you know what? This is what whoop de whoop. But if we don't have enough wisdom, and I've been learning this, and I'm still learning this. If we don't have enough, it's called effective communication. It's called knowing your partner, like you said, knowing, okay, I got to know my partner deeper than the surface. I got to know them beyond how they look or how they are in bed, or something simple as what they like to eat. I got to know the innermost parts, because if I don't, it's going to cause a lot of conflict. If I don't know that my partner acts a certain way when they're going through a certain thing, and they start to act that way, I'm gonna take it personal. Now I got an attitude. Now
Right.
I'm got a
Right.
problem. Now I'm in your chest. Now I'm calling you everything but a child. I'm calling you
Yeah.
everything but a man of God, because I don't understand as a woman that men have feelings too.
So let's prosecute. I can tell you about me. Um, I ain't a person that like to go back and forth.
Yeah.
And just like a person, a person, they might be doing this back and forth with me, and they be like, "You ain't got nothing to say," and I'm a real, I'm a real smartish. So I be like, "Nah, you said it all." What that mean? What they be like? What that mean? That mean I was just listening. I heard you loud and clear. So you ain't got nothing to say? Nah, you said what you said, and I'm listening. And if I'm going back and forth with you, who's listening? Not me or you. I I got you loud and clear. But when I'm ready to talk about it, we'll come back to it. You're not going to make me talk about it now because I'm heated and it won't end up good.
Right, right, right,
Just,
right, right,
just,
right.
just, just, just grant me that space when I'm thinking rationally and calmly that we can talk about it.
Right.
And
Right.
so, for you women that push and jug, don't do that. Some things don't get said that shouldn't be said. No,
Yes.
don't do that.
Yes.
You know, you know.
The pressure is already building
Right,
for y'all. Y'all already like about to blow. And
right.
then we have a tendency to just, it's selfish, if I could be honest. It's a bit selfish, and I'm not trying to dog the ladies out. You know what I'm saying? But I am trying to give you an understanding. It's coming from directly from a man. Like, sometimes we do the most. Sometimes we're a little bit selfish, and we don't consider that men have feelings too, and that they might not know how to process those feelings. They might not know what to do or how to give their feelings a voice to be able to express to you what's going on with them. So sometimes we have to come outside of ourselves as the woman and give that man the space that he needs to kind of figure things out and kind of work things out within himself.
Me tell you something about a man. A man, I'll be hanging out with one of his homeboys, and his homeboys will bring one of their cousins with them, and he never met the cousin, and they'll have their wives down there, and his cousin come from out of town. He just be hanging with everybody, and
Right.
so the cousin of the homeboy be like, man, she fine. Who that is? And the husband might say, man, her name's such and such. Man, go holler at her. See what's up with her. You know they're trying to set you for failure, right? Huh? And then y'all will find out why you told him to do that. Hey man, I, I just want to see if you was on your itch.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I want to see, like have a conversation. But can you have a conversation and hold your composure? Men do crazy stuff like that all the time. Yo, holler at her, man. See what's up with her, and then let me know.
Mhm.
But at the time, he'd been married to his woman for a whole 15 years. He know her
Mhm.
inside. Man, he just wants, you know what I mean? Like those, they do look crazy though. Just like y'all be like, she pretty. Go holler at your girl. Y'all do stuff like that all the time. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
Just to see what somebody mental capacity at.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But if both of y'all mental capacity is on the same level, it's funny to y'all. You know what I mean? It ain't no pressure. Ain't no getting mad. It's just funny. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so yeah, we got ladies. We got feelings too. Our feelings go deeper than you think, man. Like
Oh shit.
really deeper than you think. Like. But think about it. When we get in our feelings, we hold on.
Mm.
GrudgeCity.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we hold on.
Okay.
And and you know, it's like we just come on, man. Like we ain't want y'all to be our mother, nothing like that, man. But to really, men fear one thing, and just know this, ladies. A man fear growing old and being alone. Believe that.
Really?
Believe that. Believe that.
Oh wow. Are you
Believe that. Yeah,
serious?
don't nobody want to be 70, 80 years old by themselves.
Wow.
Don't nobody. I can tell you now. I definitely don't want that. I definitely having that. You know what I mean? And you know,
Right.
no, man. No, man. Like you want somebody to be there with you to share the memories, to go through them times. Like if you're sick, if you're sick, man, and you're not feeling well, then her emotional presence should be you should be able to feel her emotional presence. So it's bothering her, man. It's got her in a disarray. The same goes if she's sick. Like that equally yoked, it starts from that spiritual thing first,
Right.
and then the mental capacity and emotions are going to be at an all time high. It's going to follow. But you can't play both sides of the fence. You know what I mean? You can't have one foot in the door with Christ and the other one foot out. You know what I mean? Because and then you can't let everybody in your space. Wives, husbands, don't let everybody in your space.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, you can't let everybody in your space. Because if they see a crack and the doorway is open, like she might. Let me tell you what he did, girl. No, she don't even know what he did.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
That's what you. That's what you to talk to your grandmama or your mama about. Not somebody who can give him some vagina tomorrow. I'm just gonna keep it real, Fosky. I'm gonna keep it real.
Oh my goodness, y'all be giving me the business. Y'all be giving me the business.
I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
hear you. I hear you. I hear
You know,
you.
she out there with you. She got her high heels on. She go to the gym every day. She got a good job, and she be like, she always talking about what he ain't doing. It pique her interest.
Mm-hmm.
Never know.
And is going is okay, and it's very possible that his interest is piqued as well because if she's at home giving him hell, giving him headache, not understanding him at all whatsoever, only fussing every time he walked through the door, only pointing out what he's doing wrong, never showing him no love, never doing anything for anybody other than herself, is going to pique his interest if somebody else does. Now, I've never been the one to validate cheating or infidelity. You like it, I love it. Okay. However, I'm a person of why. I'm a person of understanding. I want to know why people move the way they move. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? Because it's called prevention. Sometimes you can prevent some things from happening when you
Mm-hmm.
have an understanding of why. And not every man is a dirty dog. I refuse to believe that. Okay? I've encountered
Right.
some amazing men. You understand what
Right.
I'm saying? Not every man is a garbage truck.
Right. 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 And,
But
and, and you're right. You're absolutely right about that. And I tell ladies, this is what I'm gonna tell you, ladies. Don't let somebody else destruction put a damper on your paradise. And so what I'm trying to tell you, don't let
mm,
the destructive behavior that the other man calls you, don't let the affect the godly man that's coming in your life to bring you some peace, paradise, and to bring you some joy and on many levels that you haven't ever experienced.
yeah,
Don't let it happen to you. because that destructive waves of your ex can not allow you to go further in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because he didn't love the way you need to be loved, don't mean God ain't designed somebody just for you to do that. See,
Right.
what happens is we fail to listen to God when He tell us, and God will let you go through a destructive time in your life,
Yeah.
and
Fact.
and, and God will make you bow down. So if you don't bow down to me now, you gonna have to do it.
Won't he do
But
it?
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. So
Yeah.
ladies, we got feelings too. We love
Mhm.
y'all. We honor y'all. But all we ask is for you to understand we got feelings too. Our hearts are not made of stone. They're not made of concrete. You know what I mean? We are emotional because we come from you.
Mhm.
We come from you. So how can we not be emotional?
Right.
I don't care
Right.
what no man tell you. He can say what he will, want, or may. We come from you, so we have this emotional presence within us that
Facts.
causes us to be emotional. And so
Facts.
it's time for y'all to tap into them emotions and pull them out. No matter
Mm.
what you have to do, pull them emotions out. I love y'all though. This is King Jacob.
Okay, so this is the last question, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so how can a woman communicate to a man so that he's receptive? Before you answer that, let me explain what I'm trying to say. What I noticed is from personal experience and from watching other people in their own relationships is that nobody's communicating. Everybody's fussing. Everybody's
Hmm.
arguing, excuse me. Everybody wants to be right. Nobody wants to be accountable. Nobody wants to listen, to understand instead of listening to respond. Like nobody want to humble themselves. Nobody wants to just how do we work things out? How do we meet in the middle so that this can work? So we can actually have a conversation that's going to promote a resolve, a resolution. You understand me? So, and I know men have this thing where if you don't speak to them the right way, you wasting your time.
Yeah.
You are talking to a brick wall. And unless you want to argue all day long, that's just your thing. And hey, you like it, I love it. But as for me, I don't want to have that. I done been there and done that. I mean, I didn't have to throw blows with dudes. So that's not for me. You understand what I'm saying? My thing is now, okay, if I want to have a productive, healthy relationship with a man, one of the most important things I need to know how to do is to know how to communicate to him and
Hmm.
with him. When I
Hmm.
say to him, I mean, how do I communicate to him what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, and what I'm trying to express? Like, how do I do that?
Let me tell you how. Now, Pastor Q, check this out.
Okay.
You might come in the house. You be like, "What's up, babe?" You be like, "Nothing. I need to talk to you about something." Yeah. Okay. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and wash up a little bit. I'm gonna fix some dinner. We're gonna watch our favorite show, and then after we spend some time together, I want to talk to you about something. So he's like, "Cool." So you might get ready to talk about something. Be like, "Let's do our nightcap too." So I got some red wine I bought. So let's just sip some red wine and talk.
Hmm.
And he be like, "Okay, I'm all ears." So you start talking to him, no yelling, just open communication. And he was like, I ain't even know you felt like that. And he's like, so let me get more understanding. And so it's understood. So I'm gonna continue to let you speak and go a little bit deeper. So, when you get through talking and then I have my chance to speak and we can come to that, we can resolve it together.
Okay. You
See,
know what
oh,
I
listen, she might look around like this, like, it's the same dude I'm married.
right.
But you did it different. You ain't
Right.
coming. You ain't coming up with a yeah 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 yeah. Because instantly when he hear that, he shit down. He be like, man, I'm not speaking to this heifer right now, for real.
Rico. I didn't know you had it
Hey, man, you know,
in you. Okay.
he,
What I'm hearing you say is this: that if I want to communicate something to my man,
mm-hmm,
first of all, it has to be the right time.
yeah,
It has to be in the right tone.
mm-hmm,
And it has to be in a way that doesn't feel like I'm attacking him.
correct.
So it has to be just like a normal, regular conversation that I just so happen to throw something in there.
That's right. Slide it in there, man.
Slide it in
Don't
there.
don't punch him in the face with it. Slide it in there.
But listen, this is only for women that want to have productive relationships with your man. Because of course, you have some women that are all about woman power and all that is all good. But listen, I don't know about y'all. I know, especially where I'm going, I need my husband. I need the one that God has for me. And because I know I need it, I want to know how to make things work, how to make things gel. I've seen too many dysfunctional, unhealthy, disgusting marriages, relationships. I've seen things that just don't work and watch people force it to work until it becomes toxic. That's not for me. So, what we're talking about now are for those that want to have a cultivated relationship, to those women that want to have a cultivated relationship with the man, not to the ones that I ain't finna do none of that. Oh, you got me messed up. Oh, I'm gonna say, okay, that's fine. Keep doing what you're doing. Maybe it's working for you. I can tell
Mm-hmm,
you what, I was doing that and it wasn't working for me. It wasn't working for me. I kept finding myself where I didn't want to be.
mm-hmm.
So we're having this conversation so that we can have an understanding that men have feelings too.
That's right.
They just have them differently. They got their feelings. They just have
Mm-hmm.
them
Yeah.
differently. And we, women of wisdom, you got to know how to finesse that thing. You basically is what I'm trying to hear. With you, you got to know how to finesse the situation if you really want to get into your man, and if you really want your man to get into you. Got to know how to finesse it. Got to know how to talk to him. Got to know how to appreciate his stature as a man. Like people have this thing about, oh, like the roles. It shouldn't be. It should. I am a little bit old fashioned, so in my mind, I feel like yes, the man is the head of the house.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
You understand what I'm saying? Yes, the
mm-hmm,
man is the king of the house, but I am the queen. You understand what I'm saying? And
mm-hmm.
one can't work without the other.
That's
The
right.
man lead. He got to go out in front and make sure, but at the same time, don't diminish my position neither.
That's right. That's
Because
right.
I'm a queen. And one can't work without the other. The queen on the chessboard is a beast. You understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But I also understand that even though I am a queen, I have to know how to acquiesce to my king if I
Right.
want a stable, productive, and healthy relationship. I
That's
have
right.
to be able to understand how my king works out his stuff, works out his feelings, works out his issues. I can't come at him like this all day long. Let
Right.
me.
Right. I heard a Muslim sister say, I was on TikTok or something. She said, if you learn your man, you earn your man. Don't let it
Mm,
go over your don't let it go over your head.
if you learn your man,
You earn your man.
if you earn your man, you learn your man. Wasn't that a song?
Well, she was speaking on a rightful place where women don't allow men to be men anymore.
Right.
So if they understand that there's levels to being a man, that meaning you learning him and then you'll earn him and then he'll go over
And
and
above.
beyond above for you, no matter what the world says about you. He's still gonna do that. So yeah,
Yeah.
learn your man, study your man like you study getting your master's degree. That's all.
Yeah.
And as we should study y'all like we get a PhD degree. For real, for real.
You better.
A doctorate degree.
If you
For
know
real, for
like
real.
I know. If you
This,
know like I know, you better.
that's right. That's right. That's right. But yeah, this has been nothing short than amazing. I really appreciate you having me on.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for
No
coming on.
doubt.
Thank you for coming on. Okay, one last thing. You know what we got to do? We got to do
Okay.
it. Got to do it. This is
Okay.
the time, you all, when we're going to invite those of you that are not currently saved, do not currently have Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, not currently in God's family. This is the open invitation for you to come on in. And see, this is what I love about God, man. Like, God is not just about church. Everything ain't churchy.
That's
God
right.
is life. God is everywhere at all times. Hence the word omnipresent. He is in everything. God is, man. And this is the kind of stuff that you tap into when you tap
Hmm.
into God, when you
That's
tap
right.
into his presence, when you come into his family. He gives you wisdom beyond imagination. Things God will give you things that people in church feel like it's crazy. It sounds worldly, but it's wisdom. You
Hmm.
hear me? It's
Hmm.
wisdom. And
That's
and
right.
and he gonna listen, he will love you right where you at, y'all.
That's right.
God will love you right where you are. I don't care what your past is.
Hmm.
I know what I'm talking about. He will, if you let him in, he will love you. He will cultivate you. He will transform you, and he will make you new. I promise you, he will. Won't
That's
you
right.
let him? Won't you let him today? If you want to be introduced to this God, not the God that is about to send everybody to hell. No, the God that's gonna love you.
Hmm.
I mean, really love you until you're brand new.
Hmm.
And say this prayer with me. Lord Jesus, help me, Jacob. You gotta help
Lord
me.
Jesus. Lord Jesus.
I believe in my heart.
I believe in my heart.
I confess with my mouth
I confess with my mouth
that you are my Lord
that you are my Lord
and my Savior.
and my Savior.
I receive you now.
I receive you now.
I am now in
I am now in
the family of God.
the family of God.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. There are a host of witnesses that are cheering for you right now, and I'm cheering for you too. What do now? You just keep walking.
Living. Just keep living.
Everything is not going to change in an instant. It didn't
No.
take you 24 hours to get the way you are. It's not going to take 24 hours to deprogram all that stuff. Okay. Give yourself a break.
Cause
Allow
just
God
know
to
this.
process you. Yeah.
Just know this. Moses and Apostle Paul didn't change overnight.
No, it was a process.
That's right. That's right.
It was a process. Absolutely. What
Yeah,
else do?
so
You find you a church home that's going to love you and not hate you, that's going to pick you
that's
up
right.
and not put you down, that's going to tell you the truth and not feed you lies. And one more thing, no matter what anybody says about you or anybody thinks about you, you just keep shining. I love y'all. Have a good night. Thank you so much, Jacob. I love you,
You're
bro.
welcome.
All
Love you
righty.
too. Take care of yourself. Be blessed.
Yes, you too. Good night.
Good night.